welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to be showing you part 2 of last week's video. Last week I did the triangle ends and beginnings like this, but today I'm going to be showing you how to make the actual bracelet and walk you through how to read the pattern, how to do the knots. And I also made this in a different color. I did purple, so you can do this in obviously any color or pattern. So let's just get right into the video. So you're only going to need a few things, which are scissors to cut things with. Just be careful with them, obviously. The next thing you're going to need is tape to secure your bracelet down to your surface. And then the last thing you're going to need is your string. I will be linking the pattern in the description, but this pattern calls for 12 strings and 6 colors. So the first row calls for a forward knot between the first two strands, your A and your B strand, which the letters don't really matter, but if you need to use them, it's totally fine. The second knot calls for a forward knot between the second two strings. The third knot calls for a forward knot between the third two strands. The fourth knot calls for a backward knot between the fourth strings, whatever you want to call them. So our fifth knot is a backward knot between the second to last pair of strings. So that's what we're going to be doing next. So our last knot for this first row is a backward knot between the last pair of strands. So for the second row in this pattern, normal patterns tend to leave the last strings out for the even numbers. So we're going to take our two outermost strings and we're going to leave them out of this row completely. So now that we've done that, we're going to take our first two strands. Be careful when you're doing this because you don't want to pick up the wrong ones. So we take our first two strands and we're going to make a forward-backward knot between them. Now with our second pair of strings, we're also going to be making a forward-backward knot with these strings. For the third knot, you're going to be taking your third pair of strings and making a forward knot. But for the fourth knot, we're going to be making a backward forward knot between our second to last pair of strings. So now with our last pair of strings, we're going to be making a backward forward knot between them two. for the third row in our pattern, we're going to be bringing those strings we left out back in. So you're going to take the out string and the second string and make a backward knot between them. Now for your second pair, you're also going to be making a backward knot between them. For your third pair of strings, you're going to be making a backward knot between them. So now for your fourth pair, your fourth knot, you're going to be making a forward knot between them. So for the fifth knot, we're also going to be making a forward knot. And now for the last knot, we're simply going to bring that one string we left out and make a knot between that string and the string left in with a forward knot. So now for row number 4, that is an even number, so we are going to leave the 2 out strings out of this row completely. And with your first pair, you're going to be making a backward forward knot. So now for your second pair, your second knot, you're also going to be making a backward forward knot. For your third knot, you're going to be making a forward knot. For your fourth knot, we're going to be making a forward backward knot. And for the last pair in this row, we're going to be also making a forward backward knot. Now heading on to row 5, we're going to bring that outer string back in and make a forward knot between them. With our second pair, second knot, whatever you want to call it, we're going to make a forward knot. For our third knot, we're going to be making a forward knot. For our fourth knot, we're going to be making a backward knot. For our fifth knot, we're going to be making a forward knot. For our sixth knot, we're going to be making a forward knot. For our seventh knot, we're going to be making a backward knot. For our eighth knot, we're going to be making a forward knot. For the fifth knot, we're going to be making a backward knot. now for our last knot in this row, we're going to be taking that outer string, bringing it back in, and making a backward knot. So now heading on to row 6, we're going to leave our 2 outermost strings out. And this is our last row, so once you're done this, you're going to completely restart from row number 1. The colors will not be the same, but it'll still look as good, and that's how it's supposed to be. So for our first knot in row number 6, we're going to be making a forward knot. For the second knot, we're going to be making a forward knot. For the third knot, we're going to be making a forward knot. For the fourth knot, we're going to make a backwards knot. Finally, for the last knot in row 6, we're going to be making a backward knot. So as I said as we started this last row, you're going to completely restart from row number 1 in order to make the rest of this bracelet. The colors will not end up at the same position as they were as they started, but that's okay because that's how the pattern is supposed to be. Some are not and some are, but that is how this one is. This is a time lapse of me finishing the bracelet. You can skip about 10-15 seconds if you want to skip this part. So I both started and ended my bracelet with triangle ends and beginnings, so I just did twist end ties, and you can see me cutting off the excess string, which you can also do too. I would recommend keeping this extra bit in case you can use it later. So this is the end result of the bracelet. I hope yours came out just as good as mine did. I really like how mine turned out because I like the colors I did and everything. Of course, you don't have to do the same colors. You don't even have to do like a whole color theme like I did blue. You could do purple, you could do orange and yellow, or whatever you want. So I hope you enjoyed making it. This is what it looks on my hands. I think it's a good length and I think it's really cute. And I like to tie mine in a simple like bow. Thanks so much for watching. Subscribe, like, and comment, and I'll see you next week.